it's Megan. I am about to run out for the evening, but I wanted to do a quick look video with the NARS Narcissist palette because I did a review for this, 2 days ago, and I know when I was doing the review there's such mixed reviews online, and I really like the palette. I didn't find problems with the shadow quality or anything like that, so I did a look based on the purples, but I figure I was getting ready to go out and I was using this palette to do a look with the browns, and I figure I may as well just put it on YouTube so people can see that it's not just the purples that are actually quite pigmented. I'm still not convinced there aren't bad batches of this particular palette because some people just seem to hate it so much. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I just did a quick look with the browns, and it may not be perfect because I wasn't actually doing it specifically to make a video. I was just doing it because I wanted to play around with the browns and I like the palette. So let me tell you what I did, what shadows I used. So again, this is the palette, and I basically only used 3 brushes. So I used a big shadow brush, and then I used a liner brush, and then I used this kind of smoky eye thing brush, which is like my favorite brush. I'm looking to the side because I'm looking at my eyes, seeing how I can explain it. So what I did is I took, and I'm not going to do the names on this because it's way too complicated. It's not named here on the palette, which makes it harder. So I took this shade right here, which is like a cream, kind of slightly yellowish undertone to it, peach undertone. Took the big shadow brush and put that up here under the brow. And by the way, I forgot to put a primer on before I did this. So this shadow, if you can see the pigmentation, this is blended because I didn't want too strong a look, and it also doesn't have eyeshadow primer. So when people say this palette isn't pigmented, you be the judge. And then I took another really light shade. So I did light shades first, really light, because like I said, I wanted really natural. I took this other matte shade. So I took 2 mattes right up here. This is like a soft taupe. So again, that's going to be a barely there kind of shadow, which is what I was looking for. So yeah, if I swatch it on my hand, you're just not going to see it. It's just a barely there. I like shadows like that. I'm light. They tend to make my eyes look a lot more open. So I put that all with this brush on the lid. And you can see when I shut my eyes, this is all the inner eye. I didn't start putting a darker shadow until halfway. And so as much as it doesn't swatch on my hand very well, it does show up on the eye. The cream one doesn't show up quite so well. Then I got fun. I decided to use this little sparkly brown right here. I used these 2, but I started with the sparkly one. And I did that halfway under the eye. And then I took, which one did I take? I took this little sparkly one right there, a little bit of a darker sparkly brown than the lid, but lighter than the under eye lining. So I took this one right there and I lined the rest of the eye because I get a really hard line. On me it looks hard if I do the dark color all the way, so I do a lighter one kind of on the inner eye. And then I took my little fancy smoky eye brush, and I just do weird things with this brush. Then I started building it up here in the crease and into the lower lash line, into that line I did on both sides, and then I built it up a little bit, about 1/3 of the way in on the eye lid itself, and then I built it into the crease. And then, like I said, I didn't want this to be too strong a look, so I then took my brush and I blended in to just blend out some of the color. So it was a lot darker when I first did it, but if you see, you get some shading from it, but it's still fairly natural looking because I did blend a lot of the color out. It was quite dark at one point. There went my brush. Then I took my little liner and I wet it, and then I went for this matte, more matte brown right there, and then I just did a quick little line lining the upper lashes. And that's the look. It's that simple. It was just kind of a quick, easy, not meant to be on YouTube, but since I want to justify the fact that I really like this palette, I wanted to show you another look and show that, no, these actually do have pigmentation in them. I also, just for fun, I took, this is like my new favorite thing. This is the NARS Iskander eye paint, and I'll do a review for this at some point. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I never took pretty pictures, but this is a really pretty gold. You can see, not so much. And I just took that and just dotted it right at the center of my eye just to get a little bit of sparkle, because I've done mostly mattes and it is nighttime, so I wanted just a little bit of sparkle. And you can see it's kind of like a, it's a gold, but it's more like a bronzed gold a little bit. Really pretty color. Then on my cheeks, I did an Hourglass Blush Dim Infusion, which is this peachy one. Just dotted that on my cheeks. I wanted a peachy look. And then for the lips, I did Yves Saint Laurent YSL Beauty Coral Jealous lipstick. I think this is a limited edition, but this is like my favorite shade of the spring collections. So I just, when I'm wanting like this orangey kind of, but not too orange, because too orange is just too orange on me, I use this particular lipstick. I should probably buy another one. Anyway, that's it. Very simple. It took me like 5 minutes. And as you can see, without even any primer, I think the shadows look pretty pigmented, especially given that I was going for some of the lighter shades mixed in with the darker ones. That's it. If you have this palette, I would love to hear it. If not, that's fine too. End of video. Have a good night.